again. It was the ultimate punishment for the worst the world had to offer. Fukmas shuddered. That sounded terrible even to him. But his father had his ways, and the god of death was hardly going to hug and squeeze people into oblivion. They pulled up on an ashy shore. Fukmas exited the boat, then tipped an invisible cap to the skeleton. It wasn't paying attention. It was already slipping the boat back into the water. Fukmas started to climb the steps that spiraled into the higher reaches of the dark cave. After the first view, he realized his efforts were futile. He sighed, rolled his eyes, and melted into shadow, saving himself the exertion of the climb. Increasing his pace, he slithered up the stairs and rose ever higher. He returned to his true form when he was a few steps from the top. A pair of shadowy sentinels in dark armor adorned with rusty spikes guarded the door, but made no movement as Fukmas walked past. He was expected, after all. He strode across the large open chamber, stopping at the bottom of a short staircase. An imposing figure shrouded in a mist of darkness and shadow that writhed and coiled around his being like a serpent sat in silence on the dais. Eyes like blue flame flickered beneath his dark hood. The throne was decorated with the bones of folks long since passed. Fukmas fell to one knee, sliding his eyes from the blue flames to the black rock on the floor. "Father."
"Fukmas, you have failed."
Fukmas swallowed hard. He frantically nodded, knowing how futile it would be to deny all that had occurred. "A minor setback, Almighty Dark One. A simple glitch in the plan is all. It's nothing that can't be fixed, isn't already being fixed. Trust me, I don't—"
"Trust is difficult to earn,"
Ausros interjected, his words cold and measured.
"But it is very easy to lose. You have lost any semblance of trust that you might think you have."
Fukmas continued his frantic nodding, his hands twisting together near his stomach. "Understood, Dark One. But please, if you'll just give me another chance, we can win this. The girl is still missing a piece of the armor, the biggest piece of all, and it is locked away. If we can keep that piece hidden, buried, and lost with the ancients, she is doomed to roam the world incomplete for the rest of her life. The threat will pass, the problem perish." Ausros's hands clutched the arms of the throne as he leaned forward angrily, eyes blazing.
"The problem will not perish until the problem has been exterminated."
He stared for a moment into Fukmas's eyes. They had never been what anyone would consider close as a family, yet Fukmas had always felt a strange admiration for his father and hated to disappoint him. He cowered and whimpered into his hands, waiting for his moment to speak again. Ausros leaned back impassively.
"As long as the girl exists, and as long as she carries the fallen goddess, we risk the unraveling of it all. Our little secret. I cannot allow this to happen."
Ausros raised a hand toward Fukmas. The imp was lifted off the ground, the air around his throat clamping like a physical force. His legs kicked as he began to choke.
"Fix it!" Ausros roared. "Find a way to fix what you've done. I will not tolerate any more failures. Do you understand?"
Fukmas nodded, his body flailing in the air. The next thing he knew, he was in a crumpled heap on the floor. "Understood, O Dark One. Understood. No more failure. I can do this. You'll see. I can do this." Fukmas got up, then bowed so low his nose touched the floor. He turned and strode back toward the stairs, freezing when he heard his father say,
"I know you can."
Fukmas spun.
"Because this time, you'll have assistance."
Ausros clicked his fingers. A burst of smoke coalesced on either side of him, forming the shape of two girls. Although they looked childlike, Fukmas knew better.